Army tanks and personnel carriers, subway cars.
Just a few of the numerous man-made objects placed on the seafloor off our coast. Now, don't get the wrong impression. This isn't junk polluting our coastline. In fact, it's just the opposite. They were placed with the explicit purpose to become thriving areas for sea life, an artificial reef. Dr. Robert Martone with the South Carolina Department of Natural Resources heads the Artificial Reef Program, creating hotspots of marine life in an otherwise boring landscape on the seafloor.
There's miles and miles of just flat, featureless sand, and you simply don't get a lot of fish that live in the sand. So what we have for reef systems, they're really things like rocky outcroppings and ledges, things like that, places where you have actual hard structure, rocks that come up above the sand.
The problem is those rocky outcroppings that make up the foundations of reef systems in our temperate waters are severely lacking off the southeast coast, with only 10 to 20% of the sea bottom suitable for reef development. That's where SCDNR comes in by adding hard material, whether it's specially made concrete structures, scuttled ships, or even rubble from the construction of the Ravenel Bridge. Concrete is widely used as it is similar to the natural rock that is found offshore. Steel is also used for its durability and keeps those structures, including those subway cars, out of the landfill. A deep cleaning and special care is taken to ensure no pollutants make it into the water.
We're very careful about how those are cleaned. Anything with an engine, that's always removed, generators, things like that. Fuel tanks are removed, they're flushed, they're steam cleaned. Our job is to help the ocean, to protect it.
So don't try to create your own reef by dunking your old appliances on your next fishing trip. Once at the bottom of the ocean, it doesn't take long for these objects to be covered in sponges, corals, and algae that form the basis of the reef community. Small sea life, such as shrimp and crabs, then move in, followed by thousands of juvenile fish attracted to the shelter and the food. It's easy to see why these locations are prime spots for divers to explore.
A reef produces a lot of fish. That, in turn, provides anglers places to go, divers places to go, and that means economic benefit to local communities. We do economic impact surveys. Our latest one told us that people fishing on artificial reefs, just artificial reefs, not recreational fishing in general, but just utilizing artificial reefs generated over $83 million annually for coastal communities.
Funding for creating these habitats comes from fishing licenses and fees that these anglers pay, but it all goes right back to providing more areas for sportsmen and women to use and enjoy. There are now around 50 artificial reef sites off our coast from Hilton Head and past Myrtle Beach. These spots, some located inshore as close as the pier off of Folly, to others offshore over 20 nautical miles off the coast. If you'd like to plan a trip to one of these reefs marked by buoys, or just curious about what's under our waters, you can always go to SCDNR's website to see a map and coordinates of all locations, along with a list of what's placed at each site. For another moment of science, I'm Storm Team 2 meteorologist David Dixon.